Hi guys, in this video we will look at the activity lifecycle, one of the most frequently asked question in Android interview. You already know what is an activity, which we saw in the previous video. Activity is an application component with which we can show the UI so that the user interacts with the UI components, such as a button. Pretty simple. Now let's look at an example. Alright, I'll open the Gmail app on my phone. It loads the email in my inbox. Looks good. Now let me compose an email. Clicking on the compose. Alright. I will type in some random text. Let's just some random text here. Alright. And I will click on the device home button. Alright. So you can see here there is a message. It said message saved as draft. Now how did the app know that the home button is clicked? Same thing happens if I get an incoming phone call. For me, as a user, it's good that my message has been automatically saved in draft. I can go later and edit or send a message. It's very good for me. And for the developers who write the app, it's very important for them to know the state of the activity so that they can perform the required actions. So we just saw the Gmail app. So this is nothing but when I click on the compose screen, this itself is an activity because we are able to see the UI and the user. I am able to interact with the UI elements on it. To make it easy, Android provides various lifecycle methods which tells us the state. These methods are automatically called by the Android OS, so we should never invoke them in our code. First, it starts with the onCreate method. It's the first method to get called as soon as the activity is launched, and this method is called only once. So it's the best place to load up the UI, do initialization tasks. And next we have the onStart method. Here, this method again is automatically called when the onCreate method is completed by the OS. Depending on the functionality, we could maybe write some refresh functionality here. And next we have the onResume method. This method is followed by the onStart. You can say that the application is running and user will be able to interact with the UI components once this method is executed. So these three methods we just saw, onCreate, onStart and onResume. Once these three methods are executed, activity will be in the running state and user can interact with the UI components. Let's look at the Gmail app again. Let me launch it. I'll try to send an email again on the compose screen. I'll just write some text here in the compose body and I'll just try to send it. I won't write any to or subject line. Just clicking on the send, just one click. Well, it does not send, but asks me to add at least one recipient because I haven't entered the to address. It's good for user because I can understand what's the problem and I can go correct it. The activity which is behind, here you can see there's a compose screen which is behind where we were typing the message is blurred out. It's dimmed out. We can still see it but cannot interact it. I cannot type in the to address right now until I dismiss this dialog. First I should click on the OK button and then I can write the to address and the subject line. So let me click on it again. Now we can say that the activity which is behind is in on pause state. User, that is I'm able to look at the activity, I can see the activity, but it's only partially visible. I cannot directly interact with the elements on that activity. So we just saw the example. So we had on create, on start, on resume, and the activity will be running. I was able to interact with the activity, and then a dialog came up on top of it. The activity which is behind was only partially visible, and that was an on pause state. So here you can save some information, like if it's a form, if you would like to save some information into a persistent state, like in a shared preference or in a database or internal storage, you can do that. If you have an animation showing up, you can stop that. Alright, now let's consider a scenario. Suppose we have two different activities in an application, activity A and activity B, or we can say activity 1 and activity 2, and we have a button on activity 1 which when clicked would start the activity 2. So these are pretty simple, two different activities, just one button in the activity 1 which would take the user, that is start, that is launch the activity 2. But internally, how the Android OS does is it manages a stack. So here you can see this is a kid's toy arranged in a stack. It has only one end on the top to insert and also retrieve the elements like a ring. So similar to this, activities are also placed in a stack in the memory in Android OS. When we start the activity 1, there's only one activity, so it's in the stack. But when we start the activity 2 goes on top of the stack. In this case, activity 1, which is below, is not visible, but only activity 2 is shown. Let's look at the Google Play Store app. I'll launch it. Alright, let's so this is the screen 1. I'll click on the games button, goes to the next screen. Although it could be fragment, at this point let's assume all these screens are activity to better understand. Activity 1, screen 1 is not visible, but it is pushed in the stack. And activity 2, that is the screen 2, that is the games screen, is on top, and we can see the games screen. So now we can say that activity 1 is in on stop, that is the on stop method for activity 1 is called. Again, looking at the diagram, we got on create, on start, on resume, activity would be in the running state, and then we have on pause, on stop. And in on stop, the activity is not visible because it's behind, it's below in the activity stack. And this could also happen when the user clicks the home button. Activity is still in the memory, but it's not visible. So also in this case, on stop will be called. And it's always good to save any data. We already said we could also save it in on pause if it's small data, but if it's huge, that is if you should save in database or so, which takes longer time, then it's good to do that in on stop method. Again, back to the Google Play Store app. Now I'm in the second screen. It's showing the games right now. I click on the back button on the device. See what happens. The activity 2, the second screen is gone, and it goes back to the first screen. Activity 1 is shown back again. So what actually happens is, earlier we were on screen 2, activity 2, so there were two activities in the activity stack, and when I clicked on the back button, activity 2 is removed from the stack, and activity 1 goes back on the top again. So activity 1 is visible now. Now we can say that activity 2 is destroyed. Nothing but on destroy method is called on activity 2, and it's being removed from the stack. Now let's look at the entire diagram. When we were on activity 2 was showing up, and when we clicked on the back button, activity 2 got destroyed. That means activity 1, which was earlier an on stop state, And on restart method is called on that, on start method, on resume, and again activity 1 is in running state. So let's look at here again. I'm on the second screen, second activity, click on the back button. Activity 2 is destroyed and I'm back on the activity 1. Again, these may be fragments by implementation, but we are not worried about it. We just want to see how the activity performs, and we are assuming these two are two different activities in this application. So at this point, it doesn't matter to us. One thing you should observe is it never waits in any of these methods. It always wants to go to this green state, activity running state. So um, So here on start, on restart, on start, on resume, and here. Even when you start a new activity, on create method, on start, and on resume. All these three are executed immediately back to back, and activity would be in the running state where the user can interact with the UI components. Let's say I'm running a friend finder app. It's a simple app with which I can find friends online. Maybe with my similar interests, and I'm using a low-end phone which has a less memory. I click on the home button, right? Then obviously on stop method would be called because the app has already been launched, and I click on the home button. The activity is not shown but still in the memory, so on stop method would be called. And of course, when I say on stop method, right now when I launch the activity, these three methods on create, on start, on resume would be called. Again, when I click on the home button, I said on stop would be called. So it always follows these arrows. On pause will be called first and then on stop. Alright, then I would want to play a game. Maybe Temple Run, which needs a lot of memory. And now, because my phone is low memory device, it has less memory, less than 1 gig RAM, and the friend finder app is in on stop state, and I launch the Temple Run game. Android can automatically kill it, the friend finder app, and retrieve the memory so that it can use the memory for running the Temple Run game much smoother. You play the game, that is I play the game for some time, and I open the friend finder app. Here, as you can see, it was in OnStop earlier. It got killed by the OS itself, and when I launch the app again, the friend finder app, on create method is called. So it won't stop here. Always it goes to this green state. Let's revisit all of these methods again. On create method, call first and once. So it's good to initialize the UI here, and then we have an on start method which is followed by the, and then on resume. Once these three methods are executed, activity will be in the running state, meaning that user can touch, interact with the UI elements on the screen. If another activity started, I'm right now on one activity, and this one more activity started by clicking on a button. The current activity goes to on stop, meaning on pause method is also called first, then on stop method is called. And as I said, it always follows these arrows. Also keep in mind that activity could be destroyed programmatically or by clicking on the device back button. So once the activity is destroyed, all of its resources are freed. On destroy method will be called. So again goes sequentially, and finally the on destroy method will be called. Alright, now a question based on the activity lifecycle. Suppose I'm on activity A and I start the activity B. Can you list down the activity lifecycle methods in order that would be executed in both of the activities? Like here I gave an example. You should list down in the order first, because I launched the activity A. On create, in activity A would be called. Again, on start, in A would be called. And similarly, list down until I reach the activity B. You can assume I have a button in activity A which, when clicked, launches the activity B. So this is also one of the um, mostly asked interview question. List down the methods in sequence, navigating from activity 1 to activity B, 1 to 2, or A to B. To make it easier, let's look at the code. I created a simple activity, created a new project, and it automatically has this default activity. And let's write some log statements. Here I'm in the onCreate method. I'll just create a new tag. I would put in activity.class.getSimpleName, and I'll add a log statement in the onCreate method, log.I, sorry, tag, and I would say onCreate method is called. That's it. Let's run it. Clicking on the run button. Open the Android monitor so that you can view the logs. Um, Let me just filter it out. I'll type in the tag which I gave is the main activity. So you can see the log statement is printed out. OnCreate method is called. Similarly, you can write onStart method, tag comma onStart method is called. And let me run again. I still have the filter. I'll clear it off. So now we got two statements. OnCreate method is called and onStart method is called. So now we can know that first onCreate method is called and then onStart follows. Similarly, you could write the remaining methods, just override call super, add a log statement, and you can verify. And even in the problem which I gave you just now, you could just add log statements, have two different activities, and you can print out the log statements, and you can confirm the sequence of the methods which are getting called. Alright guys, that's all in this video. In the next video we would take up a new topic. Thank you guys for watching.